good day, everyone. How are you doing wherever you are? My name is Patricia Wanja Kimani. I mostly use the name Wanja or just Wanja Kimani across all social media platforms, including here. I am a counter-trafficking consultant. I am a survivor of trafficking myself and also a survivor advocate, meaning that I raise awareness about human trafficking. You see, a lot of people have been in situations of human trafficking, but they don't know. For example, if you traveled and the documents you were given were forged or fake, and meaning that if you had gotten in trouble when you were using the fake documents, you would face the consequences yourself, like without caring who made those documents for you. So yes, I raise awareness about human trafficking, modern day slavery, and unfair work practices, meaning that even those who are still within their own countries can be subjected to situations of modern day slavery. I've had stories about the hospitality industry, overworking people and not giving them fair compensation for the work they do. Yeah, so yes, I am a humanitarian in that kind of sense. You've learned that, but yeah. So I am also a researcher in matters of human trafficking, and yeah, meaning that I am highly or actively involved in spaces that seek to find solutions for this problem of human trafficking and how we can, or how organizations can engage survivors of human trafficking and help them access services and justice, and yeah, in an effort to re-establish them. I am a humanitarian storyteller. Yeah, I write articles, blogs. Yeah, I am also a published author. So yes, I write all these stories about human trafficking, modern day slavery across the world. Yeah, I source for information, and yeah, I do write-ups for various organizations. Yeah, so this is just my area of expertise. I am an advisory counselor for an American university. I am well versed with admission procedures, visa application procedures, things to do with standardized tests like SAT or SAT, TOEFL, or the test of English as a foreign language. Yeah, I am just well versed with those kinds of tests, and yeah, the NCLEX for the nursing professionals. It's so hard to even talk about myself. Yeah, but I am a human rights defender. I help people access justice, especially within this area of travels and just safe migration. Anybody that has fallen into the hands of a rogue agent, I help them access justice. I help in rescue of Kenyans, migrant workers abroad, those who are taken for work on a visit visa, and then they found themselves in unfair situations. I help in rescue and repatriation of such people. And I also refer survivors of trafficking to good opportunities. Yeah, because sometimes the only justice we need is for us to be in a better position than we were, like after we've come back from the slavery, after we've come back from exploitation. Sometimes all we want is to be given a space to heal, to start our life all over again, but in a more fulfilled way. If it is education opportunities, if it is work opportunities, capacity building opportunities, anything that can get us out of that victimhood. Yeah, so I refer people like me, survivors, to worthwhile opportunities. And I also refer people who are maybe looking for jobs abroad. They feel that the situation within the country is not so good, and I agree, because because the way this economy is taking us, I would understand somebody that really, really wants to go abroad for work. So I give alternatives, because I have been an informal business owner, or a hawker to be precise. Yeah, sometime last year in 2022, I was hawking boiled eggs, watermelons, second-hand clothes. Yeah, so I know the situation, the economic situation in Kenya is not so encouraging. So I get to refer some people for business, so that they don't have to risk their lives and their little money by paying an agent to facilitate their travel. Yeah, so I also give travel advice for free. There are agents who are charging so much for just this kind of advice that I give people for free, and I feel it's really unfair when somebody is desperate for a job, desperate for an opportunity, only for them to be exploited, and then in the end they lose the opportunity and they lose their money. Yeah, so I help people access justice for that, and yeah, and even before they lose their money or they get to risk their little savings. I am a youth ambassador. I am active in eradicating illiteracy among women and girls, especially in Africa. This opportunity I got because I am very passionate about helping women find their power through education. I noticed that when people are being trafficked, you know, nowadays the trafficking is not so obvious. For example, people are being given documents to sign, and if you cannot read, you cannot interpret this document, then you will be consenting to something that you don't have knowledge about. So that is part of trafficking. That is the means the traffickers use. But nowadays, as I said, the trafficking doesn't look so obvious on the surface. Yeah, so I like to create awareness about this, so that if you know of anyone who is about to fall into that trap, you can snatch them as early as possible. So I got a lot of queries, a lot of suggestions on the issue of US visas, particularly the B1, B2, or just the visit visa. Yeah, so so many people have been advised to apply for this visit visa, and so that when they get to the United States, they can organize themselves. Yeah, so a lot of intending immigrants are using this visit visa according to the advice of agents. And I want to tell you for a fact that you should stop. Do not expect to get that visit visa as an intending immigrant. I know the visa officers are well trained, well professional, and they treat every non-immigrant as an intending immigrant. But now the agents have made it so bad that even somebody that genuinely wants to visit will be denied, because the situation has become that bad. Yeah, so I have a lot of messages in my DM about people who are attending conferences, but they don't intend to come back. And yes, I have advised them against it. If genuinely you're going for a conference, go back, make sure you come back, otherwise it can ruin things for you. I know of people who have gone to the US with that B1, B2 visa, they got married, and now they assume they are American citizens because now they are married to American citizens. No, it's not automatic. You have to change your status, and it takes a while because there are background checks involved. I think I have mentioned this before, maybe on a different platform, that I first applied for an American visa when I was around 15, 16, 17 years old because I was still in high school, and I used the school's computers and the school's internet. And at that time, I had not even finished my Form 4, but I wanted to apply for a student's visa. So I did a lot of research, I tried to apply for a lot of opportunities, and funny enough, I got some responses. I got some of them actually sent me the application packages. So I'm just trying to tell you that you can apply for a visa on your own. It is very simple, it's self-explanatory. Some of those questions are just yes or no questions. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Yes or no. Have you ever been suspended from school? Yes or no. So things like that are very easy to even interpret, to answer. Yeah, and there's always choices for what you can pick, what relates to you. So yes, there's always options for what relates to or applies to you. So I don't know why people are being charged 150,000, 200,000 for visa processing. And mind you, visa processing, it's only an embassy that can process your visa. And that is after you've presented yourself physically. So all these things about agents applying on your behalf, creating proxy emails, and you try to follow up on something, maybe you want to change the appointment date or something, but you cannot because the details used, you cannot access them. And maybe the details used are not even your exact emails. You have no idea what was the confirmation number. You have, like, you're in the dark. So for even these conferences being applied, you have no knowledge of where the conference will be held. Yeah, you'll just be told, oh, the conference is in Seattle or wherever else, but you don't know the exact details which are making people fail these visa interviews. So for a long time, like that time when I applied for a US visa when I was still in high school, that is like 15, 14 years ago, from that time, the visa interview has been $160 only. And when I was applying then, it was, okay, depending on the exchange rate, at that time it was 12,000. Right now, and because the visa fee has been increased to $185, it could be around 23,000 thereabout. And the difference between the 23,000 and the 150,000, you can see for real, these agents are scamming people. I know of people who have been gotten fake bank statements. I know of people who confess that they've gotten fake invitation letters, fake job offers, fake employment letters here in Kenya. Like, it is bad. And you know, when you get caught, it is you that will suffer the consequences, not the agent. It is you that will get a revocation or a denial stamp or a denial notice or whatever, not the agent. So when you are asked in future, have you ever been denied a visa before? It's not the agent that was denied, it is you. So I'm always encouraging people to always be honest and to avoid using agents. And even if that agent has a lot of knowledge about this, just avoid it, because a visa is never a guarantee, and you will have nobody to blame because an agent already knew or already told you this is not guaranteed. So it's a gamble. It's a gamble, but you'll be on the losing end. I saw a post yesterday or 2 days ago that somebody had paid an agent. He was being his travel was being facilitated, but when they were going with the agent disappeared with his money, his bundle of cash, which he was supposed to pay as commission to the agent. And we are trying our best to get justice for this gentleman because he had sold a cow to raise that amount of money. And I know of women who have sold their land for an agent to facilitate their travel. But do you know what? An agent will not tell you that your travel history matters. If you've never traveled before, then the visa officer will wonder, why do you want to travel now, and why the United States, or why Canada? So you'll have to have travel history. And that travel history, again, I know of agents who are getting people fake visas. And this is not fake news, or this is not hot air. I know of agents that have made people fake visas, fake flight tickets, fake stamps at the borders in Namanga and wherever. You trust an agent to go stamp a visa for you in Namanga, yet you yourself are not entering the country. It is so suspicious. If I were you, I would be very afraid. If I were you, I would be very afraid. You're trusting somebody to make something fake for you, yet it can be verified at any given point. In this era of technology, do not attempt. That amount of money you're paying an agent to facilitate your travel, do you know it is enough for you to apply on your own, pay your own return flight ticket, attend that conference, make good networks, then come back home without you having to spend your entire amount of money? I know of people who have been told to pay $500,000, 600,000, that much, and it is enough for you to travel, come back, and still continue with your life as usual, as if you didn't lose anything. So there are things people need to know, and today I'm just gonna do a brief introduction of all these things so that my next video can be more detailed, tackling very specific issues. Today I just want to talk about, I just want to warn you that you should not trust an agent to get you anything like fake documents, fake bank statements, fake things. And if you're trusting somebody to get you fake things so that you can travel, then don't travel because you don't have that capacity for now. I always tell my friends, my family, if a trip is not fully sponsored, I will not go because I know myself. I am a humanitarian. I don't get paid that much. I don't exactly get paid. I am just given allowances, stipends, per diem, things like that. So I know my financial situation, and I am a mother, does not allow me to apply for a visa and travel without me being fully sponsored. Every trip I have taken abroad is normally fully sponsored. So you might think I am plain hopping, whatever, but in real sense, it is all paid for. I am a hustler from Githurai. So, so if you see me in wherever, in Germany, in USA, wherever, just know it is fully sponsored. That is not my money. I am not a socialite yet. So kindly bear with me. And I just want to assure you that I cannot mislead you. I cannot discourage you for no reason. I am a Christian. I am a God-fearing person. I would not discourage you, but I would encourage you to do the right thing, because the wrong thing will always catch up with you no matter what. So avoid being told, that one we can fix. Apana. It will be fixed, but it is you to suffer the consequences. As we speak, there is a Kenyan stranded in Thailand because an agent gave him a visit visa and a fake ticket, yet he had paid for it. He had paid 160,000 for that visit visa and paid 135,000 separately for a return flight. And now that guy is stranded, yet the agent had promised that from this money, I'll be giving you upkeep until you get a job, I'll pay your hotel, I'll pay your meals, whatever. But that person has been stranded, the agent is no longer picking calls. And do you know what? The return flight, the return ticket was fake. Yes, he went well, but now coming back is a problem. I know agents hack even flight tickets, it's not something new. Working in this counter-trafficking movement, I hear all these sorts of stories. It's not new. So when you trust an agent, just know there is always that risk that what you're getting is not legit. I also know of people who are going, and when they arrive at the port of entry, they are asked questions they cannot answer because they thought, so you've gotten the visa, that's it. But in real sense, the port of entry, that border control, it's another embassy altogether, and they are stricter than the embassy itself. Because then, the embassy looked at the documents, yes. Documents were probably fake. Most of the time, they are fake, especially if it's an agent that applied for you. There is always a 75% possibility that one of your documents is not legit. Because agents are in business, they're trying their best to save money. It's not new. It's not new. They're trying their best to minimize the costs. So in any way they can minimize that cost, it is you that will pay the ultimate price in the end. Being banned, being arrested, things like that. And yeah, I know of people who are also getting fake passports for some reason. It's crazy, it's insane. I know, I know the situation in Kenya is bad, but don't get to a point of traveling with illegal documents. When you reach that border control, that passport control, whatever, in that port of entry, that is US or Canada or wherever you're going, you'll be asked questions. You'll be asked where you're going. Maybe you don't even remember because your motive was just to get a visa and leave the country. Maybe you don't remember where you're going. A lot of awareness about this needs to be created, and it's what I've been trying to do over the past few weeks, like 2-3 weeks. I've been trying to create this awareness because there's been an increase of human trafficking cases. Like in 2016, cases around the world were like 40 million, and 5 years down the line, we have 50 million people. So the crisis is getting worse, and that's what I'm trying to mitigate by giving people the correct information. Because when you move with a visit visa, just know that you are not allowed to work. So when you're trying to work with a visit visa, obviously you will be exploited, or you can work and not get paid because why are you working with a visit visa? So a lot of awareness about this needs to be spread, and yeah, so far so good.